Hi there and welcome to this episode of Beyond the Photo with me, Damien Jackson. In my last episode I was at Ballydowane Cove at the eastern end shooting the sea stack. I'm back at Ballydowane Cove today shooting the western end, which have some rock formations, and hopefully I'll get as good light as I did the last day. So let's get stuck in and see how we go. So you can see my setup. That's my subject, those two sea stacks there. And what I'm hoping to do is put these rocks here in the foreground as the tide washes around them. So I'm going to start off with maybe a sixth of a second. There's not much action on the water because again we've an offshore breeze. So I might be better off just to smooth it all together and see how that goes. But let's give it a go and see what happens. So it's already getting pretty dark here, so I'm just trying about 1/5 of a second f/16 at 100 ISO, but even that is just a little bit dark, so I'm just going to put up my ISO just a little bit. I'll just bring down the aperture back to f/13. A little bit of colour up there in the sky, but we'll see how it goes. It's a pity the way I'm facing, there's not much colour at the moment, but that could change. It's still about 20 minutes to sunset, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I think I'm going to put on a graduated filter, and I also want to put on maybe a 6-stop filter with that as well. Sometimes what I find, if there's not enough not action in the waves, etc., there's no point in going with something like a 1/6 or 1/5 because you're not going to get those splashes. So you're well off to slow it down altogether. So this time I'm hoping I'll get maybe about 15 to 20 seconds on this, and we'll see how we go. Just trying to start off there with a 15 seconds at f/13. Although there's not much actual splashes, there is a lot of white foam circulating, so that should be nice. It might provide some nice swirls on the water. Now that's a bit dark at that, so I'm going to have to go again. Didn't realise that it had got so dark so quickly, so looks like I'll have to take off the 6-stop and maybe put on something else. I'll have a quick look. Even now, after years of using NDs, I'm still surprised sometimes, you know, you have a 6 on it and you put on a 4 and suddenly it's totally blown out. But I think there's no consistency between different brands anyway, and really you have to just get used to whatever brand you're using. Okay, I'm going to change position because there's nothing else happening here. See if I can get a more vibrant composition, something with a little bit of action happening, because it's just so calm here. I might try over there to my left and see how I get on. So here are a couple of images from that spot. Now I must admit I'm more surprised than anyone that I got anything at all. They may not be bangers as they say, but I would consider them quite nice images, considering the light and the way the sea was so calm. I didn't think I was going to get anything. This second one then, I just converted this to black and white because I think it works well. But there you go, you never know what you have on the back of the camera. You really need to see it on a computer. So I've just changed my composition a little bit. What I'm looking to do now are to get these 3 rocks in a row. So I'll start off with this one here, this bigger one in the middle, and then this one out to the right. So we'll see how that goes. Once again, very calm, so I'll just use a longer shutter speed to actually slow it all down and see how I go. So I'll take off my 4, put back on the 6. Same composition, bring it up this time to 25 seconds. Wait for some water. Let's see how we go. So just one little dart of colour left up there in the sky. Hopefully those clouds over there beyond it might catch off as soon as the sun sets. So this is the shot from the second location. Again, I admit to be pleasantly surprised. A nice bit of colour in the sky, and I think the 3 rocks really stand out. There's nice separation between them. So if you're new to photography, you might be thinking, well, what's he talking about in terms of separation? Well, here's the same shot 4 to 5 meters to the left. I was originally attracted to this position by that small rock that I was going to use as a foreground. But as soon as I took the shot and looked on the back of the screen, I realised that the 3 rocks or 3 stacks that I wanted were all blending into each other. But by moving just 4 or 5 meters to the right, then they became separated. Here are both images side by side. You can see the big difference that it made moving just 5 meters to the right. So a small tip would be, don't put the camera on the tripod until you're sure of your composition. Keep it in your hand and just walk around a little bit until you find the exact spot, and then put it on. So I've moved location again. I'm staying low, close to the ground. What I'm doing now is I'm using these rocks here as a foreground. I've got a 10 to 20mm lens on, and I'm using the 2 main stacks that are probably out of view for you, but the ones that I was shooting earlier, I'm using those as the main subject. And what I'm waiting for here is the sea to retreat and just get a 2-second exposure, there we go, of some of the streaks as they go back, and hopefully that'll turn out all right. Not looking too bad. And again, I have my focus set, I have my composition set, and you know, you might wonder why I'm clicking away here. It's just that there's always one is going to be better than the other, and the waves form and the white streaks on the sea, etc. So, you know, you get the opportunity, take 20, 30, 40 of them, and then have a look and see which works out best for you. There's no point in taking one and you find out then that, you know, it just didn't work out well. Better off to take as many as you can, because to be honest, you really can't judge by the back of the camera. So this is my pick from the 20 or so images that I took from that location. As you can see, the 2 seconds and the sweep back from the sea gives a really dramatic effect. I'm pleased with this one. There was nice colours in the skies. The orange and the blues complement each other. And yeah, I like this one. I don't know how much you can see at the moment, but the moon is just starting to come out over the cliff tops at eastern end of the beach. And I'm just trying to get a shot of it. It was out there just a second ago before I had the camera on it. As soon as I turned the camera, Murphy's Law, it disappeared again. So
I tried that for a couple of minutes and
I'm
it
just
just
hoping
didn't
that it's
work
going
out.
to come
I
out
couldn't
now.
get a good composition looking back down the beach. It was then that I decided to go back into the corner where I was shooting the 2 stacks earlier, and luckily enough I had a torch in the bag, and I decided I'd try a little bit of light painting.
What I'm doing now is a 30-second exposure, f11, 1000 ISO, and with the moon lighting up a lot of the sea, what I'm trying to do is light up the shadows on the back of these stacks and the rocks, etc., so that hopefully I get some.
If you haven't done any light painting
it.
before, it's great fun. It's a case of putting the camera on a tripod, opening the shutter for a long exposure. It could be 10, it could be 30 seconds or more, and then you actually light up with a torch the object that you want to bring out within your photograph. Now, it is kind of unpredictable, and if you've never done it before, I'd say start off with a little bit of still life at home, whether it's a vase of flowers or some kind of bottle and glass arrangement, but start off small before you go out into the landscape with it. So here's the final image from the unplanned light painting shoot. What I would say is, to look similar to the wave action shots, take 10, 15, 20, because you never know how they're going to turn out. There'll always be one that's better than all the rest. So it's worth taking those few images and then check them out when you get home on the computer.
So that's it from me at Ballydowane Cove. Thank you very much for watching. I think we've made the best of it between the moonlight and the sunset this evening. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and if you did, please leave a like or subscribe below. So until the next time, stay safe and bye for now.